Racing heads to Sha Tin on Saturday. Welcome to Racing to Win, a 10-race program coming up. Both courses in use, the turf and the all-weather track as well. Big show coming up with a major announcement for racing in Hong Kong next season shortly. Firstly, though, the panel, Paul Alley and Tom Wood joins us. And Tom, a feature Class 2, and it's a really strong field. It
certainly is, Sir Mark. It's the Look Fook Jewellery Cup, Class 2, 1400 metres. Blaze Warrior lining up for Joe Moreira. He was an emphatic winner last time out over My Sugar. And in the following race, we've got in that race going around Romantic Warrior, who comes to the big course for the first time.
And for jackpot punters, Paul, you're on your own.
Yeah, there's no jackpots at this stage. Sometimes we get a few upset results here on Saturday meetings, and that could happen once again. But there does look a few locks in there, and I think Tom's spoken about those two, and also in the last, I quite like the way Soulmate won.
We'll get closer to analysing each race shortly. Firstly, though, news came through on Friday morning Hong Kong time that Jamie Richards, New Zealand's leading trainer, is relocating to Hong Kong for next season. Nick Child, our roving reporter, had this chat with the new trainer in town, Jamie Richards.
Yeah, very, very exciting, and a big thank you to the licensing committee for giving me this opportunity in the Hong Kong Jockey Club, and yeah, incredibly exciting. It's been a pretty tough secret to keep quiet for a little while, but certainly looking forward to the challenge of Hong Kong in the new season.
And Jamie, you know, for those that perhaps don't know, just to touch upon, you've got a rich history in the sport. Both your mother and father heavily involved in your association with Te Ao Kao. Can you just elaborate on that for us a little bit? Obviously, we know your record most recently certainly speaks for itself.
Yeah, so I was sort of born into it, and my father was a jockey and then a trainer, and learnt the ropes growing up. And I think a really important part of my career was being awarded the Sunline Scholarship. I was able to do a little bit of travel, spent some time at Cheveley Park, spent some time at Coolmore and at Taylor Farm up north. So yeah, did that, and then came back and sort of worked with David, and was given a junior role in the training partnership, and then took over that, you know, about 5 years ago on my own right. So yeah, it's been really successful down in New Zealand, and in Australia we've had a good bit of success over there as well. So hopefully we can bring that up to Hong Kong for the new season.
And just on some of those successes, obviously you mentioned New Zealand goes without saying, Australia as well, and just having a look, obviously last year 160 winners for you in New Zealand, a new record, as well as the many group and listed winners. Just on some of those horses, Jamie, I mean the likes of Melody Bell, Te Ao Kao Shark, Probabil, the list goes on. Avantage, who we saw sold recently as well. So some great success for you, and I imagine that's quite hard to leave behind. Was that a tough decision?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough decision, but you know, we're only young, and you know, felt that this was the sort of right time to have a good crack at it. And we haven't, you know, got any dependents with us, and my partner Danielle will be coming up with me. So yeah, looking forward to the challenge. As you say, we've done pretty much everything we can do in New Zealand, and Australia was a realistic option. But ultimately, the prize money that's available in Hong Kong, and the opportunity to set yourself up for the rest of your life was really enticing, and the challenge of training in Hong Kong, being part of the world-class racing up there with the riders and the trainers and the world-class bloodstock that are there as well, is you know, certainly looking forward to getting up there and meeting the owners and the members of the Hong Kong Jockey Club. So yeah, it's going to be a really good challenge. As you say, we've enjoyed a lot of success in New Zealand and Australia with horses of Avantage and Probabil and Te Ao Kao Shark and those sorts of horses, and hopefully, you know, we might be able to have a bit of luck in Hong Kong and find a couple of champions up there as well.
This is a seriously good get for Hong Kong, Tom.
Oh, absolutely. A big coup for the Jockey Club too. We get Jamie Richards. He's had a great upbringing. His mother and father, both terrific people, and he's had a great grounding, Paul.
Oh, definitely. The world needs more Kiwis. We need to get them abroad, and it's good to see. And I think he's going to be very, very successful in Hong Kong. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Only problem is he could be a Highlanders fan, but we can work on that.
Okay, we'll leave that up to you guys to work on his rugby team of choice. Jamie looking to be here around Champions Day to start the building phase towards next season. 10 races on Saturday, 8 on the turf, C+3 and 2 on the all-weather. We're going to be focusing on races 8 and 9 here on Racing to Win, the Class 2 and the Class 3 over 1,200 metres. The Lockfook Jewellery Cup, we've got Rattan on the class drop. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. Not Usual Talent comes back in trip. Blaze Warrior carries an extra £6 for that last start win. Circuit 3 has his second start for Benno Jung. Over the page, we have a first starter in SJ Tourbillon, who was Roman Empire for Aidan O'Brien. Seattle Choice gets a wide draw again. I'm a Single Man draws a gate, and Rocket Spades, a well-credentialed ex-Kiwi, formerly with Lance O'Sullivan, Andrew Scott, has joined the Casper Founds stable. All right, made our way across to the speed map, boys, for the first of our races we're going to preview here, Tom. And what does the map tell us?
Well, it looks like it might be just a fair tempo here, Paul, with horses like Decrypt, even though he's not shown much since he's been here in Hong Kong. But Highland Fortune racing off a career best mark.
Yeah, definitely. And look, he's going well at the moment, Highland Fortune. He might press on with it. Decrypt has kicked on, but just showing cheap speed recently. Hitch and Love. Now, Hitch and Love has drawn wide, likes to go forward. He might just find it a bit tough. Mr. Snowden had a really hard run. I think he was 4 wide last time, but should get a nice run on this occasion. And I'm a Single Man from his low draw should get a nice enough run.
Before we get on to hearing from Joe Moreira, you've got us a bit of a watch list here, Tom, for the 4-year-old series.
Yeah, Blaze Warrior in this race, he's the top rated here on 89. SJ Tourbillon, who we haven't seen before, he lines up, but he's well credentialed coming out of the UK, formerly with Aidan O'Brien. I'm a Single Man. He's really risen up the ranks, Paul, and Rocket Spade kicking off that. I'm a Single Man, certainly, I guess, been a little bit of a surprise.
He has, isn't he? And look, he's really found his feet this season. He's going really, really well. Rocket Spade, I think, he obviously he's got bigger things down. Yeah.
First and foremost, so we start with Joe Moreira, who rides the impressive Blaze Warrior.
Joe, Blaze Warrior will step out once again this Saturday. He was an impressive winner last time.
Yeah, very impressive. His first run for the season, of course, he needed a run, so he ran a good second. Second up, he was able to have a very nice run in transit, got into the clear at the right time, and he won the race in a way that you would think he can bounce back in the same class and win again, you know? So he's such an exciting horse.
And his attitude last time, he looked to be very willing. When you went between horses, he seemed to really go forward for you.
Yeah, apparently circumstances also helped him a bit because the horses around him were not really dashing, were kind of getting tired, but he showed a little bit of braveness in himself, which we like, to come in between horses and dash home. And apparently he's been beating decent horses. I mean, the horse that finished second to him last time, I actually have very, very high opinion about that one, My Sugar. And as I said, he's a kind of a horse that gets us excited for the near future.
And just on his work recently, you've been pleased with the way he's come out of that race and going forward?
Yeah, he's got no problems. He's been taking out there on some morning exercise, and the horse is definitely fitting very well.
And just on his weight, Joe, he's noticeable that in the 2 runs this year, he's a bit heavier than last year. Do you feel he's matured and strengthened up nicely?
He definitely has put on more strength and muscle around his body, which he has probably been contributed to his better performance this season. So I'm quite happy to see him a little bit heavier than what he was last season.
And just from gate 9, where do you sort of see yourself settling sort of early in the run?
Well, he's unlikely to have as much speed as the front runners. So, I mean, I don't think we have a horse to challenge them for speed. So he's likely to be midfield worse, but you know, it's all about what the trainer is going to tell me, and I'll take it from there.
That was a really good win last time, Paul, by Blaze Warrior, and he beat a horse you've got a lot of time for in My Sugar.
Yeah, really good, strong win. And the horse is going onwards and upwards, isn't he? Up to the 4-year-old series. And look, he's just been beaten the once now, Tom.
He certainly has, and look, up to the 1,400 metres has obviously been no trouble for him, and even looked like he'll get a lot further too.
Okay, some of his opposition, and we start with a Class 1 event here, and we've got 2 out of this race, Tom. That is a Highland Fortune there in the red cap, and Not Usual Talent in the yellow jacket.
He's coming into this in really good form, is Highland Fortune. He's in career best form. He was sort of wide from the 800 metres, and look, he tried really hard in the Panasonic Cup. This race, of course, was won by Lucky Express over on the inside, who went round last weekend in the International Mile, but wasn't good enough. And look, he ran really well, and he just keeps stepping up, Paul.
He does, doesn't he? And from his lower draw, I think he's going to be really handy on the pace. Look, he's going well, this horse, at the moment. The win 2 starts ago was strong, and he's backed it up with this run. So he's in career best form, no doubt about that.
Another newcomer in this race is a horse called Rocket Spade. He's very well credentialed, a former Kiwi, and he's joined the stables of Casper Founds, who was at track work with Nick Child.
Casper Founds, Rocket Spade makes his Hong Kong debut. He's a 2-time Guineas winner and a New Zealand Derby winner.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. Nice to have him in the stable. He sort of is going to be first up. Last time he ran was probably 7-8 months ago, you know. So starting him off at 1400 looks a nice race for him. It'll just be where he's comfortable and hopefully take some ground off them late would be what we're looking for first up.
And just obviously on the balance of his form in New Zealand, it's very good. I mean, how would you weigh it up for racing here in Hong Kong? Obviously, he's coming with a decent profile, isn't he?
Yeah, he's settled in really well. I'll say that. He looks a treat. And I'd be expecting him to sort of come to hand pretty quick, certainly after a race, and maybe 2 races, and then show us what he's got.
He's done a lot of his work up at Chung Fa, Casper. You've been happy with that? I mean, he's seemingly running on nicely in his trials.
Yeah, very happy with that. You know, he's in good form. We gave him a little jump out yesterday. He's in good nick. He's happy and healthy. And like I said, we'd just be hoping to see them just sort of running home nicely the last part, you know, over 1400. Then you start to step them up in trip and hope it all comes together.
And you're happy with 1400 as a starting point, obviously, for a horse who certainly will get further.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we go with the program. You know, he's obviously here to, God willing, get into the 4-year-old series. But you'll have a couple of runs prior to that, and then we'll see how we go.
Rockets Bay joins Senor Toba from the Found stable on a possible Derby path. Another horse out of this race we need to have a look at, Paul, is Shining Gem. Now, this is him racing back at Happy Valley recently. What about coming across to Sha Tin?
I think he's better at Sha Tin, Shining Gem. Look, he has raced well at Happy Valley in the past. He's won just the 1 race there, but the 3 wins have been here at his other 3 wins have been here at Sha Tin. Nice enough run from him as well. So look, he's drawn 1 once again, so he'll get his opportunity.
We've seen his best form over 1200 metres. He was knocked off there in the final leg of the IJC. I think he's still worth a chance though from that low draw.
And the horse that beat him was Elon, who also races on this program back to the all-weather. The Golden Scenery, Tom. He'd gone some good races and then got himself a decent scalp with a win.
Yeah, he did. He beat Packing Victory here, and he came from a long way back. He came from behind Packing Victory, who looked in all sorts of trouble here, but lifted again. But look, he settled well back, moved into it really strongly from the 200 metres and did stave off that late challenge. And he's won a recent trial, Paul, over Courier Wonder. I expect him to be thereabouts again.
Yeah, I've got him in. Look, he came from behind Packing Victory as well. Before this, he ran second behind Master 8, who's still an unbeaten horse here in Hong Kong, so he's going really well at the moment.
And Packing Victory just rolled after a tough trip on Sunday's selections, Paul.
Yep, so I'm going to go with the obvious one here, which is Blaze Warrior. Look, no spools there, 1.5. Any taxi driver can tell you that one. The 14 Golden Scenery in for second. I'm a single man third, and Highland Fortune for fourth. But I think the 5 can win. But the 3 behind them aren't too bad.
Yeah, I agree with the Blaze Warrior. He's going to be really tough to beat again. So he's clearly on top. Ahead of I'm a Single Man, Highland Forge. Then it was a toss-up between Shining Gem and the Golden Scenery. Opted just with the low draw. Shining Gem raced well last time out, but the Golden Scenery's probably definitely got to be in as well. So 5, 10, 3 and 13.
We're off to a break here on Racing to Win. That was race 8. We'll have a look at race number 9 right after this. Welcome back. Straight on to race number 9, the second of our preview races. Here it's a Class 3 over the 1200 metres. We've got California Concord carrying an extra £5. The 2 and the 3 both raced wide last time. Mighty Valor gets the cheek pieces off. Romantic Warrior makes his Sha Tin debut. 11 Armour Eagle has the tongue tie on, and the 12 Handsome 12 comes off a good debut. His last start third at Sha Tin over the 1200 metres as we make our way across towards the speed map here, Tom, and good to slow the anticipated tempo.
Yeah, well, Team Spirit, we know, is a horse that always likes to go forward. But another go-forward horse in the race resuming, Paul, is Mighty Valor.
Yeah, so he likes to go forward as well. So I think they'll share the pace early, Mighty Valor and Team Spirit. 5 Elements can get himself into a nice position, as can the expected favourite there, Romantic Warrior. He won't be too far away. Might just be a little bit trickier for California Concord.
All right, so that is the speed map. Straight into the replays now after we hear from Joe Moreira, who rides Romantic Warrior ahead of his first look around Sha Tin.
Joe, Romantic Warrior has been in super form around the Valley this year, now 2 from 2. He'll head to Sha Tin on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm very happy that Dennis taking him over there because he's been doing things in Happy Valley that indicates that Sha Tin would suit him better. So when he did mention that he was going to take him to Sha Tin, I was extremely happy with that.
What sort of challenges do you think are set to face him going from the Valley to Sha Tin? You obviously feel he's a horse that can adapt to the bigger track.
He's a kind of horse that does not have that much of early speed, even if he has shown that in the past on his barrier trials. But when it came to the races, he wasn't able to master from the gates. They were leaving him a little bit further back than what we would like. So being in the position where you need time to catch up the leaders, a bigger track will definitely suit a horse like that. So he seems one of a kind.
And just, the class obviously jump up into grade into class 3, barrier 7. Any concerns there from either of those 2 points?
Not concerns at all. He has proven to me that he's a better class than what he's been so far. And last time he did carry the top weight, so now it's probably about 9 to 10 pounds less that he's going to have to carry. So I think it's a plus. He's not just a class 3 horse. I think he's a very high potential kind of a horse. He's going to go much higher in rating.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just talking of Class 3 and Happy Valley, obviously just reflecting on the last meeting here at the Valley, you took a clean sweep of the Class 3s. John Size's horse is in great form. That was a good night.
I'm just a blessed boy, a lucky boy to be on board of some nice horses, and as you mentioned, John, he always has his horses coming through at this time of the year, so I guess it's not a surprise to anybody else that he's winning numbers of races. And as I say, I've been just lucky to be the one to be sitting on board.
Joe, no issues with Romantic Warrior, Tom, and you would think the bigger circuit at Sha Tin, knowing he takes some time to wind up, ideal for him.
Yeah, compared to a 300-metre straight, Happy Valley's going to have the best part of 400 and a little bit of change. Paul, he's going to have every opportunity.
Yeah, he's still a 3-year-old too, so he's plenty of improvement in him.
OK, replays in opposition for Romantic Warrior are as follows. Our first will feature California Concord. That's him up outside the leader. 5 Elements had no luck this day, Paul, and Handsome 12. It was a strong debut from him.
Yeah, I reckon he can get himself into the race once again, Handsome 12. I like the run of 5 Elements here because he was wide all the way. Look, he just dropped out a little bit towards the end, but I think he'll get a lot better run now.
He should do from barrier number 6, and of course Joe's sticking with Romantic Warrior, but he has been partnering up with 5 Elements. Also War of Courage, he was up on the pace, 3 wide, no cover. He's going to find, I think, a little tricky from barrier number 11 this time round, but he is a course and distance winner, and look, nothing wrong with the run either of Handsome 12, Paul. He stayed on pretty well.
Yeah, good run from Handsome 12. I've managed to get him into the numbers, Handsome 12s. I thought it was a really good debut. And from barrier 5, he should be posy up midfield, something like that.
The form's been frank there too, of course. Navis 2 winning.
It has indeed at big odds. Seasons Bliss, Tom's won his last 2, and he comes up into Class 3 for the first time.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of this horse, but he strikes a strong race here. He stepped up again last time out, but moves into Class 3 for the first time. He got the gap at the 350, won pretty easily in the end. You can see him wanting to run around a little bit over the concluding stages, Paul, but he's really matured now.
He has, hasn't he? He was always showing that raw ability earlier on, but just couldn't quite put it together. He's now won 2 in a row, so I think he can go on with it as well.
This is a really strong field, Paul. Now, Team Spirit comes out of it. This is the race won by California Spangle. He was racing Master 8 prior to that. And the other one is Anea Fortune, and he showed good improvement between his first 2 starts.
Yeah, so a good run from Anea Fortune. He'd be the one I would take out of this. He didn't quite make it in, Anea Fortune, for me. But look, he's on the right trajectory there. He's only had the 2 starts, and he did improve a lot. Just barrier 12.
Yeah, and he was flat maybe by the run of the trail there. Gate 12 put me off a little bit, but I was a fan last time out there.
Off to the Sha Tin trials here, Tom, and this is Mighty Valor, who's on the inside there of Smoky Bear.
Yeah, I like this trial of Mighty Valor. I'm going to put him in. Cheek Pieces coming off. Wagner Borges was riding in that trial. He rides here. I think he's fairly well fit coming into this. Deemed unacceptable last time out, but he's had a freshen up, Paul, and his fresh up record's good.
Yeah, look, and he's going well at the moment. There was a good trial, as you said, and he's going to be in the right spot for sure.
So there is a look at some of the horses in race number 9. Was the winner in those replays, Paul?
I think it is, yeah. Romantic Warrior, I think he's on top. He's the obvious one in this, isn't it? From Seasons Bliss, 5 Elements, and Handsome 12, we've seen them all. 6, 7, 2, 12.
Yeah, Romantic Warrior clearly on top, but I do like Mighty Valor first up again tomorrow, where he's got a good fresh up record. 5 Elements goes in, should get a better run this time round in Seasons Bliss. So 6, 5, 2 and 7.
So they are the selections for races 8 and 9. Paul, we've seen on the show. What about the other events outside of them? Yeah,
look, there's a couple of horses I like quite earlier on. I do like in the first Chu Chow Brother. I think he can run pretty well. Taking you further, Jack Wong. So I think it's a good ride for him. He's been downgraded. Like Steel Win on the all-weather. Also like Elon on the all-weather. Although he did win at Happy Valley last time, he has won on that service before. And Soulmate was impressive in the last race.
And a reminder, a breakdown of each and every race at hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Your best, Paul.
I'm going to go with on an all-weather race earlier on. I'm going to go with Steel Win. I think he can just posse up in behind. He's already a winner this season. Vincent Ho and Michael Chang should get a really nice run, and his niche is this all-weather. So he's the best. And Vukan, he's just the one-time winner from his 9 starts. That was over the course and distance. Paul O'Sullivan had a winner midweek, and I think his stable's going to start to click. So race 5, number 7 will do the play in the 4th, though, with last start winner, Everyone's Victory, Steel Win, and Bingo Bingo coming onto the service for the first time in a QQP.
Race 7, my best, comes up with Darcy Joy again from a low draw. I think he can be effective for here. Ricky Yu and Derek Lungi was good last time out. Raced a bit handier last start, 2 from a wider draw, did win 2 back. So that's race 7, number 9, Darcy Joy. In class 5 for the value. Earlier on in the day, race 3, number 6, Lucky Missile, had a tough run at Happy Valley last time out. Was under pressure before the turn, or at Sha Tin, I should say, last time out, that tough run, but stuck on fairly well. He is a winner in a higher grade in the past, Lucky Missile. And Romantic Warrior, will take him in the forecasting and banker him with those 3 there. 5 Elements, Mighty Valor and Seasons Bliss.
They won 3 at Happy Valley on Friday night. They can win at least 1 at Sha Tin on Sunday with race 5, number 6, Running Glory. Only had the 1 start. He went to the line in a pocket, never got clear. The John Sire stable is low flying at the moment. Joe's on board, so race 5, number 6, Running Glory with Better Luck, the best bet. President's Choice has had some better luck with the barriers this week. He's had 11, 11 and 12. He draws barrier 3. Was racing Cheerful Days 2 starts ago, and then again not a whole lot of room behind Snow a lot last time. As far as the play goes, we'll go race 5, Good Buddy, Running Glory and Happy Daily for the QQP. So that has been racing to win, boys. We've got 10 tomorrow and 9 at Happy Valley on Wednesday night.
Yeah, only 1 meeting next week, just the 9 races are there, and we've got 3 meetings the week after, Paul.
Yeah, around Christmas, busy period of time, but some really good racing coming up.
That has been Racing to Win. Thanks for joining us here. A reminder, Saturday racing with the first back to the normal start time of 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.